ions, pluses and minuses, across the plasma membrane. There's that term again. I mentioned it as soon as class started, and there's that term again. So, once again, we are dependent on the plasma membrane.
Before the break, you said the cardiac muscle is a lot like skeletal muscle, and then
I said similar,
you
and
said
that their structure under the scope looks similar.
right, and you said that there's a reason why it doesn't fatigue, but you never really told us. Why doesn't it fatigue?
We haven't gotten to that point yet,
Okay.
but it's due to how the cardiac cell recovers in between every electrical impulse. In skeletal muscle, you could have a constant coming in, and that would create tetanus, like a cramp or whatever, okay? Heart muscle doesn't, okay? Because of its structure, and this is the structure, this is hopefully what you saw under the scope, cell to cell to cell to cell, and in between each cell was the intercalated disc. The intercalated disc is what we see over here, where this cell over here would interdigitate to this cell. They connect by way of my fascia. They have the desmosomes, and then I have my gap junctions, so that ions from this cell could flow to the next, flow to the next, flow to the next, and as they flow, they generate electricity, which will give you your heartbeat. Based upon the flow of the ions. Guess what ions?
Potassium.
We're going to have potassium. Can y'all think of anything else? Calcium. Sodium. What happens when people have a deficient amount of, say, sodium, potassium, calcium in their body? What does it do
Muscle.
to their muscle?
It interrupts the signaling to the muscles.
And that means all muscles of the body, whether that is skeletal, smooth, and now cardiac.
Does the body draw those ions kind of like it does with heat? When you get really cold, it draws it into your core. Does the body regulate and prioritize?
Not the ions, but the blood flow that it is directing has it in it. So by default, I guess, so to speak, it would be pulling the ions in that direction.
I guess what I mean is if I have a potassium deficiency, will I have issues with my extremities before my heart?
Yes. You will have issues, usually deficiencies of the ions are reflected in muscles of the body. So you might have the heartbeat too fast, the heartbeat too slow, the heartbeat incorrectly, feel like it does like a little jump in your body, that sort of thing. And then you'll start noticing other things, and hopefully, if you recognize it, correct it or go to the doctor, that sort of thing, just depending upon how bad the symptoms get. So when we talk about, where am I at right here? Okay, I'm not going to start this one today because this starts a whole nother section. So we will pick up at this point on Thursday. Took me a minute to